Hello viewers and welcome to Itenert. The Vice President of the Republic of Ghana is the second highest executive official in Ghana. The Vice President, together with the President of Ghana, is directly elected by the people through popular vote to serve a 4-year term of office. The Vice President is the first person in the presidential line of succession and will ascend to the presidency upon the death, resignation or removal of the President. The first Republican Constitution under which Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was president from 1st July 1960 to 24 February 1966 and the Second Republic Constitution under which Kofi Busia was Prime Minister from 1st October 1969 to 13th January 1972 did not have a provision for the office of the Vice President. Actually, therefore, there were no Vice President in the First and the Second Republics. The first time Ghana had a vice president was in 1979 under the Third Republican Constitution, which was overthrown by the Provisional National Defense Council (PNDC) on Thursday, 31st December 1981. Article 47 of the 1979 Constitution and Article 60 of the 1992 Constitution relate to the establishment of the office of the Vice President of Ghana. In fact, the redemption of the Article 47 of the 1979 Constitution was maintained under Article 60 of the 1992 Constitution because both articles read, "There shall be a Vice President of Ghana who shall perform such functions as may be assigned to him by this Constitution or by the President." So far, Ghana has had only male presidents and male vice presidents. We are yet to see females in those executive offices of the land. As I promised you that if my video, History of Ghanaian President and SHS they attended, gets 300 likes, there will be a video about Ghanaian Vice President and SHS they attended. You can watch that video on the link on top of this video, or you can find it at the end of this video. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. You can also share with us in the comment box below your best vice president on the list. The following are the list of the vice president and SHS they attended. The first time Ghana had a vice president was in 1979. The first person to occupy that position was Dr. Joseph William Swain de Graaf Johnson, who was the vice president to Dr. Hillel Imam. Dr. Joseph William Swain de Graaf Johnson was born on 6 October 1933 and was a Ghanaian engineer, academic and politician. De Graaf Johnson practiced as engineer in Ghana. He was a lecturer at the Building and Roads Research Institute of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology at Kumasi and later became the director. He was also one of the founding members of the Ghana Institution of Engineers, of which he was president from 1977 to 1978. Dr. de Graaf Johnson was educated at the Wesleyan Primary School and in Fansepim Secondary before going to engineering school at Achimota and doing postgraduate courses in engineering at Derby and Cambridge. He started his political life during the era of the military rule under the Supreme Military Council. He was among those who opposed the continuation of military rule. Because of this, he suffered personal attacks. De Graaf Johnson joined the People's National Party (PNP) when it was founded in 1979. This was after the ban on political parties imposed in 1972 by the National Redemption Council was lifted. The PNP won the election and he became the first ever vice president of Ghana in the Imam government. Unfortunately, they were in office for only 15 months, that is 1 year 3 months, instead of the constitutionally mandated 4 years per Article 53 of the 1979 Constitution. The government was overthrown by coup d'etat on 31st December 1931. He left for exile in London, England after the coup. The military government ruled from 1981 to 1992. De Graaf Johnson died on 22nd April 1999 in London at the age of 65. He was buried in Cape Coast, Ghana. The second vice president on the list is Mr. Akomea Kensinaka, who was vice president from 7 January 1993 to 7 January 1997. Mr. Akomea Kensinaka was born on 14 July 1927 at Sinyabreku in the central region of Ghana. He attended Mfansepim School between 1941 and 1946, then Achimota School. He proceeded to the United States of America, where he obtained his first degree at Tufts College. after which he attended Harvard University for MBA between 1952 and 1954. Mr. Atta was an assistant sales manager of Sequoia Oil Corporation of New York City. He later returned to his homeland from 1954 to 1957. Atta worked as a marketing executive of Mobil Oil Ghana Limited for the next 10 years up to 1968. Atta worked with the civil service, rising to become principal secretary between 1966 and 1968. He was a head of the Ghana National Trading Corporation, GNTC, a huge national trading franchise at the time, the Ghana Airways Airline, and the Ghana National Procurement Agency. During 1965, he was the Chief Commercial Officer for Foreign Trade. He also worked as a consultant in the Gambia, Sierra Leone, and Ethiopia. Atta became the leader of the National Convention Party, NCP, prior to the 1992 presidential election. His party formed alliance with the National Democratic Congress (NDC) of Jelly John Lawrence and Every Ghanaian Living Everywhere (EGLE) party. As part of the deal, Atta became the vice presidential candidate on Lawrence's ticket. Lawrence and Atta had a difficult working relationship throughout their 4-year term. The high point was an alleged punch-up between them at a cabinet meeting on 28 December 1995. Lawrence alluded that there had been some form of misunderstanding. Atta became the leader of the Convention People's Party, formed by the mega of the NCP and the People's Convention Party. The mega was announced on 29 January 1996. Atta, who continued as a vice president of Ghana, stood as a candidate in the 1996 presidential election and lost. He was replaced in Lawrence's government by Professor John Evans Atamis, a law lecturer, as Lawrence's deputy. Atta was involved in road traffic accident at Cantonment, Accra. He died of his injuries in Atlanta, in the United States on 25 April 2001. The third vice president on the list is Professor John Evans Atamis, who was vice president from 7th January 1997 to 7th January 2001. Professor Atamis was born on 21st July 1994 in Takwa, in the western region of Ghana, a member of the Fante ethnic group. He hailed from the town of Ekumfi Otuam in the Fanziman East constituency of Central region of Ghana. He had his primary and middle school education at the Huni Valley Methodist Primary School and Commander Methodist Middle School, respectively. He then proceeded to the prestigious Itenert School for his secondary education, where he completed the ordinary and advanced certificate in 1961 and 1963, respectively, and the University of Ghana, Legon, where he completed Bachelor of Law and Professional Law certificate in 1961. Professor Mills studied at the London School of Economics and Political Science, where he obtained an LLM in the 1968 and earned a PhD in law at the School of Oriental and African Studies of Law, part of the Federal University of London. At the age of 27, he completed his doctoral thesis in the field of taxation and economic development in 1971. Professor Mills' first formal teaching assignment was as a lecturer at the Faculty of Law at the University of Ghana. He spent close to 25 years teaching at Legon and other institutions of higher learning. Professor Mills eventually left academia to establish a distinguished career in the public service. Appointed in 1968 as Acting Commissioner of Ghana Internal Revenue Service, he eventually became the Substantive Commissioner in 1993. He stood as the President Jerry John Lawrence running mate under the banner of the National Democratic Congress (NDC) in the 1996 election. They were victorious, and Mills took office on January 7, 1997 as the Vice President, a post he held until 2001. Professor Mills was the NDC candidate for the presidency in the 2000 and 2004 election, but he was defeated by John Kofi Agyekum-Kufuor of the New Patriotic Party (NPP). Professor Mills contested again in 2008 election on the ticket of the NDC and won the election. On January 7, 2009, Professor Mills was officially sworn in as a president of Ghana. Professor Mills died on 24 July 2012 at the 37 Military Hospital in Accra, 3 days after his 68th birthday. Though the cause of his death was not immediately released, he had been suffering from throat cancer and had recently been to USA for medical reasons. Announcing his death, his office noted that he died hours after being taken ill, but a presidential aide said that he had complained of pains the day prior to his death. Professor Mills was known to be a peaceful man, and Ghanaians named him Asumdwehene, meaning the peacemaker. Professor Mills is the first president to die in office. Number 4 on the list is Aliu Ali Mohammed. Aliu Ali Mohammed was a Ghanaian politician who was Vice President of Ghana from 7 January 2001 to 7 January 2009. A member of the New Patriotic Party, he was Ghana's first Muslim Vice President. Aliu Mohammed as a young man studied at the government secondary school in Tamale from 1960 to 1967 for his ordinary and advanced level certificate. He proceeded to the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi from 1967 to 1971, where he obtained the BSc in Building and Technology. He started his working career at the Bolgatanga Regional Office of the State Construction Corporation as an engineer from 1972 to 1975. He was promoted to the Assistant Regional Manager and posted to the Portfolio Regional Office of the corporation from 1975 to 1976. He held the position of Regional Manager in charge of Northern Region, Tamale, from June 1966 to August 1988. In 1988, he successfully established his own civil engineering and general construction firm, Lidra Limited, and became its managing director. He was chairman of the Northern Regional Contractors Association from 1996 until the December 2000 election. Aliu Mohammed was also an alumni of the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA. In order to sharpen and deepen his management and leadership skills, he obtained 2 certificates from the Institute in Project Planning and Management and in Leadership. He was a board member of several secondary schools in the Northern region, including the Tamale Polytechnic. He also served as board member of the Ghana Premier League side Rare Tamale United, where he was a founding member. After 2 terms as a vice president, he sought the New Patriotic Party's nomination for the 2008 presidential election. At the party's convention in December 2007, he was unsuccessful, obtaining only 6%, that's 146 votes of the total delegate ballot cast. He then retired from politics. The Ghanaian media circulated rumors of his death on 14th November 2012 at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, but the story was quickly denied the same day by his family and hospital authorities. He eventually died at the same hospital on 16th November 2012 at the age of 66 from heart-related conditions and complications from stroke. He died almost 4 months after the Ghanaian President John Evans Atamis died. The 5th president on the list is John Dramani Mahama. John Dramani Mahama, born 29th November 1958, is a Ghanaian politician, communication expert, historian, and writer. He is a member of the Gunja ethnic group. Mahama hails from Boli in the northern region. Mahama was born in Damango in the Damango-Daboya constituency of the northern region into a political tradition dating back to the country's first republic. His father, Emmanuel Adama Mahama, a wealthy rice farmer and a teacher, was the first member of parliament for the West Gunja constituency and the first regional commissioner of the northern region during the First Republic under the first Ghanaian president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Mahama started his primary education at Accra Newtown Experimental School and completed it at Achimota School before completing secondary school at Ghana Secondary School in Tamari in the northern region of Ghana. He proceeded to the University of Ghana, Legon, receiving a bachelor degree in history in 1981 and a postgraduate diploma in communication studies in 1986. He also studied at the Institute of Social Science in Moscow in the Soviet Union, specialized in social psychology. He obtained a postgraduate degree in 1988. Mahama was first elected to the Parliament of Ghana in the 1996 election to represent the Bole Bamboy constituency for a 4-year term. In April 1997, Mahama was appointed Deputy Minister of Communications. He was promoted to the post of Minister of Communications in November 1998, serving in the post until January 2001, when the ruling National Democratic Congress (NDC) handed over power to the New Patriotic Party (NPP's) government. In 2000, Mahama was re-elected for another 4-year term as a member of parliament for the Bole Bamboy constituency. He was again re-elected in 2004 for a third term. From 2001 to 2004, Mahama served as minority parliamentary spokesperson for communications. Mahama was a running mate for Professor John Evans Atamis in the 2008 election, and they won the election. On 7 January 2009, Mahama became the Vice President of Ghana. In line with Ghana's constitution, Mahama became the President of Ghana on 24 July 2012 on the death of his predecessor, Professor John Evans Atamis. In July 2012, he became the Ghana's first president to have served at all levels of political office: Ghanaian and Pan-African MP, Deputy Minister, Minister, Vice President, and President. The National Democratic Congress (NDC) held a special National Delegate Congress on 30th August 2012 and endorsed President John Dramani Mahama as a 2012 presidential candidate. Mahama won the December 2012 general election with 50.70. Mahama won the December 2012 election with 50.70 of the total valid vote cast and a 3% winning margin, beating his nearest rival Nana Akufo-Addo of the main opposition New Patriotic Party. On 9 December 2016, Mahama was defeated by the main opposition leader Nana Akufo-Addo, to whom he conceded defeat earlier that day. Mahama pulled 44.4% of the valid votes cast compared to Akufo-Addo's 53.5%. Next on the list is Pakwesi Bekwin Emisa Atta. Pakwesi Bekwin Emisa Atta, born William Edmond Davison Emisa Atta, was a Ghanaian economist, academic, and politician who was the 5th Vice President of Ghana's 4th Republic and the 6th Vice President in general. Emisa Atta was born at Cape Coast on 29 April 1951, the capital of the Central Region of Ghana. His mother, Efi Emisa Atta, and his father, Jabish Richmond Emisa Atta, an educator who served as the second and longest serving headmaster of the Oda Secondary School at Achimwada in the Eastern Region from September 1961 to December 1977. He attended the Obom Methodist B Primary School in Cape Coast and passed the Common Entrance Examination from the Akim Oda Methodist School in 1964. He completed his secondary education at the Mfansipim School, where he obtained the GCE Ordinary Level in 1969 and the GCE Advanced Level in 1971. He proceeded to the University of Ghana, Legon, where he obtained the BSc in 1974 and MSc in 1976, both in economics. Emisa Atta was a research assistant at the Institute of Statistical, Social, and Economic Research between 1974 and 1975. He later joined the economic department as a teaching assistant from 1977 to 1978, going on to become an assistant lecturer in 1979. He lectured at the Department of Economics at the University of Ghana between 1980 and 1988. He then worked as a senior economist for the Sigma 1 Corporation in Ghana between 1998 and 2000. Between 2000 and 2001, he was on assignment for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark. He was a supporter and major shareholder in the football club, the Accra House of Folk. From 1983 to 1986, Emisa Atta served as a special assistant to the Secretary of Finance and Economic Planning, Kwesi in the Provisional National Defense Council government. Subsequently, he was Deputy Secretary for Finance in the PNDC government from February 1986 to March 1993. From April 1993, he continued as the Deputy Minister for Finance in Rawlings government after the establishment of constitutional rule until March 1997. He also served on the board of the Eswatini State-owned Bank for Housing and Construction. Emisa Atta was appointed as Governor of Ghana in October 2009 by Professor John Evans Atamis. He held this position until 6 August 2012, when he became Vice President of Ghana following the death of Professor John Evans Atamis. He was nominated by President John Dramani Mahama to be Vice President a week after Mahama himself sworn in. This followed the sudden death of Professor John Evans Atamis on 24th July 2012. Emisa Atta died on 29 June 2018 at the 37 Military Hospital after reportedly collapsing at the Air Force gym during his routine morning workout session. A state funeral attended by several dignitaries was held for him on 27 July 2018 at the Accra International Conference Center. Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia is the 7th on the list and the current Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia was born on October 7, 1963 in Tamale to Alhaji Mumuni Bawumia and Ajia Mariama Bawumia. Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia attended the Sakasaka Primary School in Tamale and gained admission to Tamale Secondary School in 1975. After graduating from Tamale Secondary School, he went to the United Kingdom, where he studied banking and obtained Chartered Institute of Bankers Diploma. He was president of the Ghana United Nations Students Association, GUNZA, for 1981. He took a first-class honor degree in economics at the Buckingham University in 1987. He then obtained master's degree in economics at Lincoln's College, Oxford, and obtained a PhD in economics at Simon Fraser University in 1995. His area of specialization include microeconomics, international economics, development economics, and monetary policy. He has numerous publications. From 1988 to 1990, Dr. Bawumia worked as a lecturer in the monetary economics and international finance at the Emerov College of Accountancy in London, England. He also served as an economist at the Research Department of the International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C., USA. Between 1996 and 2000, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia served as Assistant Professor of Economics in Hackman School of Business at Baylor University in Waco, Texas, USA, where he also received the Young Researcher Award in 1998. He was listed in Who is Who Among America's Teachers in 1999. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia returned to Ghana in 2000 to work as an economist at the Bank of Ghana. He rose from senior economist to the head of department and subsequently a special assistant to the governor of the bank. President John Agyekum Kufuor appointed Bawumia as deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana in June 2006. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was a running mate to the New Patriotic Party candidate in the 2008 election, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The NPP increased its share of vote compared to 2004 in all the three northern regions in both the first and the second round, but they lost the election. Bawumia was nominated as the vice presidential candidate to Nana Akufo-Addo for the 2012 election and they lost again. In 2016 presidential election, Nana Akufo-Addo appointed Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia as his running mate and they won the election. Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia was sworn in as Vice President of the Republic of Ghana on 7 January 2017. At the time of recording this video in 2020, he is the vice president and also the running mate for the 2020 election on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. Thank you and bye for now.